had Sam Raimi, the director of the original, on board as your producer, was there one piece of advice that he gave you that was gold that you carried through the shoot?
Yeah, and I think wasn't just related to this film, but in general. And he said at the beginning when we were talking about making the movie, he said like you have to make the movie you want to see in theaters, like you, Fede, the movie that you want to go in theater. What would be the perfect movie that you want to enjoy in the theater with an audience? He said, like, do that, but don't do the film that you think I want to see. Don't make a film that you think the audience wants to see. You have to create a film that you think you want to see, because that's your judgment is the only thing you have with you all the time. And I think it was a great advice, and particularly when you're making something that is a cult classic, but it's a movie that is seen in very different ways from different people. Yeah, some people say it's the scariest movie ever. Other people say it's the funniest movie ever. Like it's different things for different people, and so I think at the end of the day, if you try to please them all, you could just set up for failure.
You saw the original Evil Dead at a very young age. Was there a memory from that experience that you brought through with you to making this film?
Oh, many memories, and I think actually the movie was constructed in a way based on my memory of the original film. When we start talking about making a new one with Sam, and start talking about what kind of film would I do and what was the story. I didn't want to go and rewatch it. I just wanted to remember it, because I thought that any idea that stood with me for 20 years would be a great idea, right? So right away when we start thinking about the original, and probably by the time we're talking, it was 20 years ago, the last time I watched it. So we kind of construct the film based on all those memories, right? Because the best ideas are the ones that stay with you forever. There's a lot of challenge, when you're making your first film. Usually the biggest challenge is that you're the boss on set, you're the director, but you're the one that made less films than everybody else. Like everybody makes more films than you did, because you did zero by the time you started working on the film. So that's usually the biggest challenge, how much you have to listen to everybody, because you do have to listen to everybody there. They've been in many movies, so they know what they're doing, and you've been in none. So you have to listen to everybody, but at the same time, if you just listen to everybody, you're going to do the same movie that everybody did in the past. So how do you create a new one, just to listen to your voice and doing something new? And that combination, I think, creates a good film. And that was the biggest challenge. When to say, okay, yes, but thank you, no, we're going to do it this way.
What did you admire most about Jane Levy as a leading lady?
Oh, I think that she was ready to do whatever it takes to get the scene, and she's so brave in general, and she's so ballsy when it comes down to do the scenes. She was never worried to be embarrassed or be ashamed. Like when you're making these horror movies, like can be pretty embarrassing for the actors if you think in those terms, right? Because you're there, makeup, screaming like a maniac, and she was always ready to go and always ready to do all the things and really take risks, and she took a lot of risks.
You're all going to die tonight.
Do you think the most extreme thing you could do with the sequel is have absolutely no gore in it and just total suspense?
That would be a surprise for everybody. I mean, we definitely want to surprise people. I think it has to be based on something different. I don't think you have to repeat the formula ever, right? When you do a sequel that only repeats the formula of the first movie is when it usually doesn't work. So we'll see if it's the gore that we're going to change. I don't know, but we'll see what we change.